What comes to mind when you hear Joshua Tree? Are you thinking of the beautiful national park and all of its fascinating wildlife? Or are you like, what the hell is Joshua Tree? What if we were to tell you that there's so much more going on in the Joshua Tree area than meets the eye, and that it might be extremely haunted? Travel down this rabbit hole with us as we investigate all of the creepy shenanigans going on in the Joshua Tree area in this episode of I'm Scared, but I Like It. Hey guys, Chloe and Julianne from the future jumping in here just for a hot sec. Since we're not going to have another episode releasing before Halloween, we just wanted to wish you a very happy and spooky Halloween. Stay safe out there and have an awesome time.
Eat candy.
Yes.
If you want.
Yeah, brush your teeth.
Yeah,
oh,
floss.
okay. I'm not
Make
your
sure
mother.
To floss.
I just want you guys to be okay. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay. Hello. It's another day. It's another podcast.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Chloe.
Howdy, Chloe. It's your gal pal, Julianne.
Well, hi.
Hey there.
Howdy. Speaking of howdy, did y'all see Nope?
I wish I could say yep, but my answer is nope. But I want to see Nope. I know
Bummer.
you saw Nope.
I did. I'm not going to say anything because I want you all to go see it. It is very good.
Okay, well, that's saying something.
That's saying something. If I started off the episode with that, that's saying something. But welcome everyone to episode 5 of I'm Scared, but I Like It.
Thank you for being here, everybody.
Thanks for coming back as always. It's not always a guarantee that you'll come back.
That's true. We need you, though. Without you, we're nothing.
We need you. Well, Julianne, before we begin, is there anything, any life updates, any creepy stuff on your end?
That's a good question. Nope, nothing. Got nothing at all. Do you have anything?
I kind of do have something new to report, but it's actually going to tie into this episode, so actually I'm going to wait.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Wow. If you're not following us yet on social media, be sure to check out our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube. You can find us any of these places at I'm Scared, but I Like It. If you would like to support our work, one of the very easy things you can do, in addition to following us on social media, is giving us a rating on whatever podcast listening to app you're using. Just give us a 5-star if you want. A 5-star, or move on with your life and do something else. You know.
Yeah.
Why waste your time? And you can certainly, if you have the means, consider donating to us financially, because our cats may be our sponsors every episode, but they're certainly not paying us with human money. You can donate to us at our Ko-fi page, which will be linked in the description, kofi.com/I'm Scared, but I Like It. We hugely appreciate any support, be it financial or just digital and spiritual.
Oh.
I consider
what she said.
A like on Instagram is a spiritual thumbs up, that they're supporting us in spirit.
Every time we get a like on Instagram, we just kind of like pause in the day and we're like, oh, I think someone just liked our post. Yeah.
Yeah. A shiver goes down our spine.
Yeah. And it's kind of scary, but we like it.
We like it a lot.
Well, thank you, Julianne. And without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm so excited. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, right. You don't know what we're doing today.
No, I have no idea. Chloe has changed her mind like 5 separate times. At first, I thought I knew what was going on, and then I did not. And then I knew what was going on another time, and now I don't know again. I don't know what's happening.
That's good.
I guess. I'm anxious. I'm anxiously awaiting what's about to happen to me. I'm scared, and I don't know if I like it yet.
Well, I hope you like it.
I hope so. I'll be the judge.
Well, today we travel to 2 separate deserts that are connected.
I love the
I know,
desert.
this is like...
I fucking love the desert, dude.
I know, Julianne, that's her dream, is to move to the desert because you just live in cold-ass Minnesota.
Yes, dude. I just want
Right?
a gecko tattoo on my foot. I just want as many toe rings as can fit on my toesies. I just want to be on a rock. I want to be the lizard. I want to have a lizard on my foot, and I want to be a lizard. I just want a sun on my sunning rock, lick my eyeballs, soak up that sun. It's all I want. I don't care about anything except for the desert.
Well, then you know what? You're in luck. Because this episode is completely all about the desert.
Oh, God bless you. God bless.
You're welcome. Bless. Okay, so anyway, again, rewind. Today, we travel to 2 deserts that are kind of put together in this one location. So it's 2 ecosystems coming together, meeting together. 2 worlds, 1 family. Can I sing that?
Yeah, that I think you can do that. That's
Are we gonna get...
No, that's not enough of the song to get in trouble. I fucking love Tarzan, dude.
Oh my God, I love Tarzan. How we've not talked about Tarzan.
I should send you, I have the Tarzan soundtrack in Japanese if you want the Japanese versions.
Phil Collins?
No, it's somebody else, but they take the Phil Collins songs and sing them in Japanese instead.
Oh. Oh my God, we need to talk about that later. That's a...
no Nakade.
Oh my God.
I'll hook you up with
amazing.
the MP3s.
Hook it up. Okay.
Yeah. How many more times can I derail you from this specific
How many more
sentence?
times can I say that these 2 deserts are connected in this one area? I will not specify yet. Yes. These 2 deserts coming together are located in Southern California. The Mojave and the Colorado come together to make one unique ecosystem of Joshua Tree National Park. Julianne, have you ever heard of Joshua Tree National Park?
I've heard of it. I've never been.
You've heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Well, this is one of the hottest stretches of land in the entire U.S., and it contrasts brilliantly against the green forested north. This scorching piece of land is filled with more wonders than first meets the eye. Soft rock hills formed over millions of years of erosion, bushlands, incredible wildlife, breathtaking night sky views, and artifacts of an earlier time period all paint the picture of Joshua Tree. And Joshua Tree is in this area that's bordered by Yucca Valley and 29 Palms. And 29 Palms is where my grandparents live. And my mom. So so we're in their neighborhood.
Okay.
And really,
okay.
Yeah, so I've been to Joshua Tree and Yucca and 29 Palms, obviously, and pretty familiar with the area. And they're not that far away from each other. So you never really know when you enter Joshua Tree or when you enter 29 Palms or Yucca. They just look all...
Got it.
You
It's
feel
not
like you're just in the same
delineated.
town. Yeah, so that's why we're going to talk about Yucca and 29 Palms a little bit throughout this as well. So when I was researching this topic, the history of it was very interesting to me because there seemed to be a few important puzzle pieces missing. So the first known inhabitants of this area were people of the Pinto culture, specifically the Serrano, the Kuya, the Chemehuevi. I think that's how you say it. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I looked all over the place and there were like 7 different ways to pronounce it according to a bunch of random robot voices. So I'm so sorry if I got that wrong. And the Mojave tribes as well. So these 4 tribes were in the area of Joshua Tree, 29 Palms, Yucca Valley, like the southern area. Wikipedia seems to be the only website I could actually find like a hint of what happened and why they're no longer there. Of course, the Joshua Tree National Park website, like all the videos I found don't mention what happened to all the native people. So we're about to go into that haunted shit. So apparently there were a group of Spaniards led by Pedro I'm going to pronounce that last name very wrong. Fages. There you go. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. Who stumbled upon this land, and you can probably imagine what happened next, right? Because usually with Spanish conquistadors, they come in and just steal your shit and fuck y'all up. So that's what happened. I believe. I don't actually know because there wasn't a lot of information about it online. But when I looked up the actual tribes, it said that they were moved off, relocated. That's such a nice word, relocated.
Yeah, very
to another
delicate language.
Yeah, to another part of California or other areas, right? And they were given foreign diseases, and a lot of them died off or suffered immense pain. So since all these videos and websites don't mention that, I'm rubbing it in the face of all of them because they should be stating the correct history of that. So there
Absolutely.
You go. And according to Wikipedia, by 1823, Mexico was finally freed from Spain's rule. So I guess Mexico was under Spain's rule. And there was a war won between the U.S. and Mexico. And obviously, U.S. won and took over the territory of California and I think a few other states. And so fast forward, once the 1870s rolled in, this is when white settlers came on or rolling through, and they were like, hey, this is an interesting ecosystem. There's probably gold here, and this is going to be really good for ranching, right? So establishing farms and making some business. And apparently there were some Mormons that came through at some point. They didn't settle there, but when they saw all these really unique Joshua trees, which apparently aren't really trees, they're part of the agave. Yeah, like they're fruit bearing, and they're part of like the agave family. Don't ask more than that. I don't know.
Are fruit bearing trees not trees?
I don't know. It said it's not a tree. Is it like just a really tall bush? I don't know. Maybe I should have looked into it more. But this is a haunted episode. It's not a botanical episode.
I want the botanical history.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let me just Google it for you.
You don't have to Google it for me. She's Googling.
No, I want to know. We should know. The people want to know. Joshua tree.
This is fucked up.
Plant.
Oh my God.
The Yucca brevilonia.
They're succulents.
Oh my God, are they?
Yes, they're succulent plants that are just out of fucking control. That's crazy.
So there's these really tall, strange looking succulents. That's so crazy.
That's so crazy.
To think that those are, that's so crazy.
They don't have any wood. There's no true wood.
Oh my gosh, that's probably why that they can, they can sustain so much life out there.
Yeah.
Because they're soaking up all that water like cactus.
This is crazy. This is big news.
This
Somebody sound the alarms. Why doesn't anybody talk about this?
This is actually the biggest conspiracy out of everything we're going to talk about today. So you see the landscape, right? There's like those
Beautiful,
really big, soft, really, really soft rock formations because, they were eroded over time. And these beautiful giant succulents. That's just so bizarre to me.
I fucking love rocks, dude. Stunning.
It's a beautiful place.
I want to go to there.
I bet you do. Okay, yeah. So these Mormons came by and they were like, wow, what a beautiful place. And they saw these giant succulents. And for some reason, it reminded them of the character Joshua from the Bible. And Joshua was instructed. He was in charge of leading the people from of Israel to the promised land, right? And the promised land, it spoke of milk and honey, which would symbolize abundance and wealth and prosperity. So it's interesting that the Mormons saw this land as sort of a type of promised land. Like it had a lot of potential, but they didn't actually settle. And I'm not sure why.
They settled kind of nearby, didn't they? Utah?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Salt Lake City, baby.
They're like, this is pretty good, but we're going to keep going.
Yeah, we're going to keep moving.
It gets better from here, right? So this big collection of trees that spans many, many acres has been turned into Joshua Tree National Park.
Hell yeah.
And Joshua Tree National Park is located in the town or the city of Joshua Tree. And Joshua Tree outside of the national park is a very surprisingly colorful, creative, and artistic little community. So it's very like cowboy-esque, and there's just so much art. There's like fortune telling, there's gift shops, and it's just this really cute little community.
It sounds like
I love
Sedona. It sounds like Sedona, Arizona or something.
Sort of.
Less crystals?
I've never been to Oh, God, yeah, there's crystals everywhere. You're in the fucking desert. There's going to be rocks and people selling. I was fucking at Walmart there like last November, and there was just a dude with like 3 long ass tables just selling all his crystals in the parking lot of Walmart. And everyone was just like, oh, hey, man. Oh, yeah. Okay. What you got today? And I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. He was like also selling his handmade tie-dye. No, I really wanted to. I should have.
Wow. Not even
I still
supporting
think of
the
that man
local
till this
economy.
day. Fucking hell, I know. I'm sorry.
Shout out
but
to
he was
him.
like selling his he was selling his tie-dye, like hand dyed tie-dye. It was just amazing. Anyway, guys, Joshua
go
Tree
check
is
out his
really
shop.
cool.
Go check out the
In
Walmart.
the parking lot of Walmart. Yeah.
5 stars.
I don't know the days. Yeah,
That's
5
fine.
stars. Okay. So I'm going to show you a picture of that town now, okay?
Okay, yes.
So all the
wow.
like not all, but a lot of the shops look like this. It's very old
they
country
lean into
western.
the western vibe. That is not as Sedona. This is more cowboy.
Yeah. No, this is more wild, wild west kind of stuff because it really is. It literally is. There's not a lot going on. So these little pops of fun and color is so interesting and unique. And this is the gift shop I went to, and I love it. It was so beautiful.
I want to go.
So cool.
I want to go.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
and
sorry.
while we're on the topic, for what?
Just the fucking spider.
What's
Fucking
wrong with the
tarantula. It just
spider?
scared me. You just opened up an image and scared me. Go on.
I'm sorry.
I liked the mouse.
So I was just going to talk about the wildlife a little bit of this area. We've got all kinds of stuff. We got coyote, and this is actually a little important. So this is, you might be like, why is she going in? Is this a Joshua Tree educational show? Kind of, because it's going to connect with the creepy shit that's about to come. Okay. So we got some coyotes.
Yeah.
My mom made friends with a roadrunner. This is
What
a roadrunner
in the
here.
world do you mean made friends with?
There's just this roadrunner that comes to their house, and I don't know. My mom just started like giving him water and some like little snackies, and that roadrunner came every day and like hung out with my mom.
That's wholesome.
And did that for weeks.
We love an interspecies friendship.
Yeah. My mom also made friends with coyotes, so they come by every day.
Whoa.
Yeah. She's found
Brave.
snakes. She found a baby rattlesnake in the garage.
Oh no.
Tarantulas live, I believe, in the underground area.
Nope.
In the upside down, more like. My grandparents used to have tortoises. Oh, these lizards are definitely all over the effing place.
I really like the little jumping mouse guys.
This one here?
I can't see what you're
one.
pointing at. It's bottom left. It's not the scorpion, but it's diagonal to the scorpion.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure what kind of mouse that is. Like a house mouse or something.
No, it's a little jumping.
Like just
it's a little jumping guy. No, it's not common. I know what that is. It's a little jumping mouse.
Oh, is it? Because like the kangaroo feet?
Yes. Jumping mouse desert. Slam that enter button. Jerboa. It's a jerboa, dude.
Oh, it's a jerboa.
Maybe not. Hold on. It says North Africa
Like
and
little
Asia.
kangaroo.
Maybe it's not. But it looks like it. What the fuck, dude? Hold on.
Close enough. Anyway, that's why you got to go to Joshua Tree.
Go find them, yeah.
And then, they have like these little squirrels up in the top left. Yeah, so they have a lot of wildlife here.
Love
Right?
it, yeah. Scary,
And the
but
bunnies
like
just run wild.
cute.
And so that is the area of Joshua Tree. But
Wild.
right next door,
A wild area.
right next door to this wild area is a very quiet little town of 29 Palms. Again, where my family lives.
Okay.
And in 29 Palms is the largest marine base in the U.S.
Interesting.
I think it's called the 29 Palms Marine Base.
An apt title, yeah.
Yeah, right on the money. So keep that in mind because that is going to pop up as well pretty soon. And it's going to play a pretty big, weird role in what we're about to talk about.
Interesting.
And so with all this wildlife and all these incredible attractions, could there be another reason why people are attracted to this area? Besides all that, could there be other reasons?
Could there be high strangeness afoot?
Let's find out. So I don't know when I figured out that this place was fucking haunted as shit, but it is. It is. So it's, at first I thought it was like, okay, there's got to be some UFO stuff because it's such a dark area because there's really not a lot going on. The sky is pretty clear. You're in the middle of nowhere, really. And so I thought, oh, wow, you know, for anybody who wants to maybe hunt for UFOs, maybe this would be a great place. And staying out there, everything kind of just feels haunted, like as a given. And so I thought, okay, that's all I'm going to find on this place. No. I found so much strange about this area that I don't even, I'm surprised not, like, how are people not talking about it?
Tell me,
okay?
Talk about it.
So here we go. The first place we're going, hauntings.
Yes.
One of the most popular hauntings in Joshua Tree is Joshua Tree Inn. Have you ever heard of Joshua Tree Inn?
Never, not once in my whole life.
Okay, it's like this, please forgive me, this shabby little motel, if you will. Like, I really wouldn't call it a hotel. And it used to be more frequented by celebrities back in the day, particularly a celebrity named Graham Parsons. Have you ever heard of Graham Parsons?
I've never heard of Graham Parsons. Thank you for asking.
Graham Parsons was this musician back in the 60s, the 70s.
Okay.
So Graham Parsons was a musician back in the 1960s, 1970s. He did some work with the Byrds. Okay. He was a part of his main band, the Flying Burrito Brothers, from 1968 to 1970.
Love that.
I know. So I wanted to show you a little video of Graham.
Oh, okay.
This song is called Hot Burrito Number 1 in case anyone wants to see it.
What is that instrument, dude? It's very 60s. Is he the one singing? Mm-hmm. Is this country? I can't tell.
So Graham was really interesting because he had a lot of country roots, but he was really interested in the life of rock and roll, like, you know, the kind of lifestyle that the Rolling Stones were living, right?
He seems like a blend of those things.
Exactly. And so in other words, he was a country boy who dreamed of living kind of fast, right? Yeah. And doing something more out there. But it's interesting because Graham, he's known for coming into the music industry and changing it. And really, he was kind of the catalyst for bringing country influences into rock and roll. He was the guy, Graham. Okay. And so that's Graham. Very, very talented, very good emotional singer. Nice stuff. According to Wikipedia, in the late 1960s, Parsons became enamored of and began to vacation at Joshua Tree National Park in southeastern California, where he frequently used psychedelics and reportedly experienced several UFO sightings.
Hell yeah, dude.
UFO
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah. That's not how he sounded. Okay. One night, after challenging his friends to drink with him, and they couldn't for various reasons, like one of them was recovering from hepatitis, and I'm not even going to get into that.
Oh my God, what was going on?
It's a random fact. You're welcome. Graham said, you know what? I'll drink for all three of us. And and then proceeded to drink apparently 6 double tequilas.
What's a double tequila? What does that mean?
I don't even know. I don't drink. It sounds like, it sounds wrong.
2 shots? I don't, anyway.
Sounds like too much.
Yeah, certainly.
What is that, like 12 shots?
There's something like that. Sounds bad.
They then returned to Joshua Tree Inn where they were staying, where Parsons purchased morphine from an unknown young woman.
Okay.
After being injected by her in room number 1, he overdosed. His friend gave Parsons an ice cube suppository.
Oh.
And later a cold shower. I guess that's how you...
Do you know what that means?
It's supposed to like perk you up or get you out of there. I know what a suppository is.
Okay, you just said it so casually. I was like, does she know what she's saying?
You know what? I've just seen so many things in this world. I'm just numb to it all. No, an ice cube, for those who don't know what a suppository is, it's an ice cube, or it's anything that goes up your rear.
That's true.
And
thank you, Chloe.
The black hole of it.
The void.
That one center, that area. Did I explain that well enough for you? Your asshole.
Okay, thank you.
So instead of moving Parsons around the room, his friend put him on the bed in room number 8 and went out to buy coffee in the hope of reviving him, leaving their other friend to stand watch.
Oh my God.
As his respirations became irregular and later ceased, his friend attempted resuscitation. Her efforts failed, and the other friend, watching from outside, was visibly alarmed. After further failed attempts, they decided to call an ambulance. Parsons was declared dead on arrival at Yucca Valley Hospital, and the official cause of death was an overdose of morphine and alcohol.
God damn.
So very tragic. And there's something else very strange about his death in that one of his friends, Phil Kaufman, recalled that Graham said, if I die out here for whatever reason, I want to be burned out here. Like I want to be cremated out in the desert so my soul can be free.
Who just says that kind of thing?
I don't know.
Offhand.
Well, you know, people who are doing drugs and seeing UFOs in the desert.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That tracks.
And so then Phil, his friend who remembers this request, goes to the airport before they ship his body off to his family, convinces a police officer to help him load the body into his car.
Oh my God. Phil
drives Graham's body out into the desert, Joshua Tree, or Yucca. It's either Yucca or Joshua Tree. Either way, same smell. And creates like a little, he puts like some random objects and kind of like a memorial there. And then he pours gasoline on his body and sets that on fire.
Oh my God. Wait, did the police officer didn't come with for the body burning?
I don't think so.
Okay. I was like, this sounds like a weird, like dark comedy, like buddy travel movie.
Well,
we got to burn the body.
They were probably inspired by something like this because it happened. So 2 days later, Phil was arrested, charged for grand theft, right?
Yeah, dude.
And Graham's family was so upset and disgusted, so infuriating because they wanted to have a proper burial for him. And to, you know, can you imagine if like one of your loved ones, like their body was taken and treated in a certain way far away from where you are? Like that would be devastating.
Yeah, awful.
But this guy, Phil, his friend, claimed that he did it out of love. He did it in honor of like buddy to buddy. Like he wanted to do this for his friend because that's what his friend asked him to do. So weird situation, right? So I wanted to kind of give that haunted detail because that's one of like the more interesting things I've ever heard.
That is crazy.
So crazy. And so since this time, there was a memorial put up in the desert where he was cremated for Graham's, but it was moved to Joshua Tree Inn. So now there's like a little memorial there.
Okay.
Right.
Have you been there?
Since I haven't, but I've driven past it many times.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And so to this day, people now say that the hotel is haunted AF, especially room number 8 where Graham passed away. Okay. So I want to tell you a little about that. You know Ghost Adventures, right? With Zach Bagans. Bagans.
Yeah.
Bagans.
I do.
He's not of Hobbiton. Ghost Adventures went there to do an episode, and I watched the whole thing, so you don't have to. Although you should. It was actually a really great episode. but they were interviewing the staff.
Very legitimate journalism.
Well, let's not, you know what? Okay.
Okay.
Don't give too much shit. Okay.
Okay. Go on.
I like them.
Go on.
So they were interviewing the staff and they were saying like, they were sharing some experiences that some of the guests had, like having the same dream about Graham trying to get into the room for whatever reason. At the same time, people seeing objects move on their own or hearing objects move on their own, feeling very, very dark presences, like watching them.
Oh no.
And actually seeing shadow people.
Oh no.
And like some of the staff, like especially I believe it was room 12, they don't go in there alone to clean.
Why? Why room 12?
They go in pairs.
Why
because
room 12?
Apparently, for some reason, in room 12, it seems to be a little hostile towards women.
He didn't have anything to do with room 12. That's a different ghost.
I know. I know, but I'm just telling you all the haunts about this place. Okay. And so Ghost Adventures, they're like, okay, here we go. We're going to do it. And even before the investigation begins, like they're seeing shadow stuff. Locked doors are opening on their own. Okay. It's just creepy. Okay. And then do you know the celebrity Lauren Gray? She's like a singer and
no.
Anyway, she accompanied them on this one particular episode and they started to bring up the spirit box, which is like this little device that scans through like radio frequencies and spits out words. Mm-hmm. And so it's not like the most high-tech piece of
chaotic
technology, right? But it's experimental. Is a good way to put it. So they bring that out and they're hoping to maybe make contact with Graham, right? And they're like, Graham, are you here? And they get some very intelligent responses. And they ask him, what room are you in? Room 8.
Okay, good.
So it's a whole thing.
Not room 12. No, they were in he's room denouncing 8. The actions of room 12. He's like, I don't go in there. I'm only in room 8, okay?
Well, they were literally in room 8.
That's horrifying.
And so then they have this, I believe it's called a K2 meter, but it measures electromagnetic frequencies. So unless like you have something that's giving off EMF, it's not this little
what the fuck
radar.
Is EMF? Electromagnetic frequencies. Okay.
Yeah. So unless you have something next to it that's triggering it, it's not going to move. That needle is not going to move, right? So they put it on the bed. Nothing should be triggering it. Nothing's happening. Mm-hmm. And then they start playing Graham's music and this thing just starts going off.
Wait, why is that cute to me? Like my instinct is to go, aw. Like,
no, they thought it was cute too because it was like they were kind of connecting over music. So it was kind of interesting that they were getting intelligent responses. Like, and now like I understand, right? It's a TV show. It's meant to be entertaining. So we'll never really truly know, right? Yeah. I'm not saying that this is a credible source. I'm saying it's interesting. It's something to think about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was the most popular haunting of the Joshua Tree area. However, I do have a personal haunting story of my own. Well, of my family's
Tell me right now everything. Now. Is this your family's house?
This is my family's house out in 29
It is Palms. So fucking cute.
Girl, it's fucking haunted.
No, it is not.
It's the most haunted shit. Like, I've never been anywhere more haunted in my life. I'm not even kidding. Fuck? Yeah, it's eerily quiet. I mean, I love my family so much. I don't know why. I don't understand. Okay.
Do they feel like it's haunted or are you like the odd one out?
No, they all know it's haunted.
Oh, okay.
And they just
like,
and,
it's
they, and they act like it's normal. Yeah, like sure. When you're actually there, you're like, oh my God. Remember when I called you when I was traveling there and I was like, girl, I don't know.
I know. I was like, let's trade places. Sign me up.
The haunted vibes were part of it. Not the whole reason, but it was part of the reason. Okay. So when my grandparents bought the house back in long ass time ago, like 40, 50 years ago, very, very long time ago. Okay. Like,
shout out to all of our listeners who were alive in the 40s and 50s. Sorry that Chloe's being ageist right now. Go on.
I'm so sorry.
It's not that old. It's normal length.
No, it is. It is.
It's like 3,000
so
years
not too
ago.
long ago, like 30, 40 years ago, I don't remember the number I gave. When they were moving into this place, they were told that, okay, the previous owner's wife passed away while she lived here.
Damn it.
I don't know if she passed away in the house or if she passed away in a hospital, then they brought her body back. But she was cremated and then her ashes were scattered on the property.
Okay.
And many of their pets, if not all of them, were also buried on property.
Okay, that's normal. That's fine.
That's normal, but it's
something to keep in mind.
Something to keep in mind, okay? And so my grandparents, being like the sweet spiritual people from Hawaii that they are, they walked into the house on the first day and they said out loud, "Hey, we know you're probably here. We can feel you. You are still welcome to be here. This is still your home. We live here now and it's our home too, but you are welcome here. You're safe here if you're here."
You are just like your fucking family, dude. This is adorable. I love this.
Right. So my grandparents were super sweet. And so from the day they moved in, they felt something. They knew that somebody or someone was there, right? Somebody or someone is what I said. Something is there.
Ugh.
And so they welcomed it with open arms because, if you were a ghost trapped in your old house and your family moved out, you'd like, what, that's horrible. Yeah. So I think that's how they saw it. Yeah. But going back years ago, like 20, 30 years ago, apparently, and I just learned this last night, but apparently my grandmother has been seeing a woman in the house.
What?
This is way before she ever had like memory problems. This was like when she was young. Okay. She would be lying in her bed in the bedroom and she would just look over at the doorway and there would just be a woman standing there staring at her.
Hell no. No.
Yeah. And so this has been happening.
This is what you get for welcoming ghosts in. They're gonna fucking hang out in your room with you. Horrifying.
So my grandma felt like no one believed her for the longest time. Right? Because a lot of people wouldn't. They'd just say, "Oh, you're just tired," or, "Oh, you're just making things up. Stop joking around."
Yeah.
But then I think my grandpa started seeing her.
Really?
Yeah. So these are the experiences that my mom has had since living in the house, taking care of them, like since like a year and a half ago or something.
Okay.
Year or so. They were all in the kitchen. Well, actually, my grandpa was, I think, asleep on the couch or something. But my mom and grandma were in the kitchen. And I'll show you a picture of our kitchen. Here's the kitchen. So my mom would probably be standing by the sink. Okay. My grandma right next to her somewhere. And all of a sudden, they smell this overwhelming aroma, like the scent of perfume that none of them own. They just smelled this overwhelming scent of perfume.
Oh, no. Okay.
And then my mom and my grandma didn't really say anything. And then at some point, one of them cracked and they're like, "You smell that?" And the other one's like, "Yeah, I thought I was going crazy. What is that?" And they're like, they look all over the house. Like, there's no one there. They don't have, it just makes no sense. They're just in the kitchen. No one sprayed anything. Right. Okay. Like,
they're not like making potpourri at the time or anything.
No. And it's the same smell and it comes and goes every once in a while. It's really
That's
strange.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Another instance that happened was my grandpa and my mom were in the kitchen this time. And it was quiet. They were just doing regular kitchen stuff. And my mom heard music coming loud. Oh, sorry. They weren't in the kitchen. They heard it coming from the kitchen. They were in the bedroom.
Okay.
They were in their bedroom, which is down the hall. I'll show you a picture of that.
Oh my God, the cat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my mom was kind enough to send me all these photos. Okay, well, there's not a picture of the bedroom, but this is in the bedroom, and this is looking out into the hallway, and the kitchen would be on the left, all the way by that front door. So my mom and grandpa are like standing right around here, and I'm sure my cat was there too. And they just hear this loud music for like 10 seconds or something coming from inside the house in the kitchen.
It could not have been a car outside.
No, that's what I asked her. I was like, "You sure it wasn't just a car outside?" She's like, "Chloe, we know what it sounds like from outside versus in the fucking house. There's a difference."
Was it Graham Parsons?
And so
was it the Flying Burrito Brothers playing?
I wish. She said it sounded like elevator music, like old elevator music.
That's creepy.
And they both heard it for like 10 seconds. It didn't seem to fade in and fade out. It just played and then it stopped. I'm getting chicken skin. And then they both turned to each other and they're like, "Did you hear that?" And they're like, "Yeah." They've heard that a couple times around the house when there's no TV on and it's the same music in the house.
I don't like that.
And it's not like some like animal, where you can press them or something, like a stuffed animal and it plays music. It's not like a gram or a card or something. No. They don't have a radio either. And they just keep hearing the same strange elevator music coming from different rooms in the house.
Why are they? Why is the ghost doing this? Why are they doing this?
I don't know. So then, on another occasion, my mom. Okay, this is inside her room. There's my cat.
It looks like the cat's watching the laptop.
Yeah, so they watch movies together, and my mom has her little DVD player set up. And so one night she was on her bed watching a DVD and facing the door, right? And there's a hallway there.
Yeah.
My mom saw my grandma walk by.
Oh no. Okay.
My grandma kind of walks slow, but my mom said that she was kind of walking normal, like faster than usual. And my mom was like, "Oh, okay, she shouldn't be up walking around by herself. She's going to fall, right? Like she needs, especially if she's going to the bathroom or something." So my mom, pauses the movie. She gets up and she's like, "Okay, mama, what's going on? What you got to do? You got to use the bathroom. You want to change your clothes?" No one's in the bathroom.
Oh no.
Lights are off. She's like, "Okay." Goes to the bedroom. Lights are off. No one's in there.
What?
She's like, "Okay." She walks out down the hallway to the living room and finds my grandpa watching TV in his little chair. Right? She's like, "Hey, Daddy, where's Grandma going? Did she have to use the bathroom or something? Do you know where she went?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I just saw her walk by." And he's like, "Junko," which is her name. "Junko, she's been taking a nap this entire time. She has not woken up for like an hour. She's right there on the couch." And my mom turns to her right and lo and behold, my grandma's passed out on the couch.
Oh my God.
And I told her it wasn't a shadow or something you saw. It was specifically grandma. She's like, "It was specifically grandma." And I was like, "Fucking doppelganger, fucking shit." I was like, "Fuck that. Nope. Girl, I got the chills right now."
Yeah, I hate and I love a doppelganger. Like, it's a violation.
Can you imagine seeing that when you're watching that? Right?
No,
okay.
No.
So there you go. Oh, and the last thing I want to say, this one's a little sweet and personal. Do you see the picture on the screen?
I sure do.
It's like they're
rafters,
like these cabinets.
Oh, I'm looking at the ceiling.
So this is the closet of my grandma and grandpa's bedroom.
Okay.
And if you can see like the Jesus painting on the wall, it scared me so much.
That's Jesus?
I don't know who the hell that is. I'm pretty sure that's Jesus, and it's
too zoomed out. I can't tell who that is.
I respect everything they believe in. That painting in particular just creeps me out. Anyway, so enough about that. This is their closets, right? They have the sliding doors, and then above the sliding doors, they have like these little cupboards, right? And these cupboards, they have like this interesting clip or some type of. You have to really shove it in there, and then you have to really yank hard to get it open and closed. Okay. It's one of those. It has like a prong weird thing. So some of you who know me in real life will know that my father passed away about a year ago under some very sad circumstances. And of course, it broke our hearts. And I can go into another episode, but what's really interesting is that you see this cupboard here in the corner all the way by the wall?
Yes.
That one, on the day he died, opened on its own.
What?
They just found it open, and my grandpa came out to my mom and he was like, Junko, you come here. Did you open this? You got to come see this. And she's like, what? He shows her. She's like, stop fucking with me. You fucking open that. But my grandpa's like, his back's almost broken and it's so high off the ground. Like there's just no rhyme or reason for anyone to go up there because it's a hazard. And my mom doesn't even know what's up there. And so it was really strange because out of like the 30, 40 years of them living here in this house, that has never opened on its own. Ever. Until the day my dad passed away. And so we were like, okay, that's just a coincidence. That's strange, but let it go. And then like every day it started opening on its own.
What?
Yeah. And then over weeks, it just kept opening every few days. And it was scaring the living fuck out of my family. They're like, is there someone literally in our house?
Yeah, what
right?
the hell?
Physically, there's just no way that thing is going to open on its own. It's again, the way like that prong type of thing, it's really hard to open it and shove it back in. So my mom was just telling me how like disturbed they were. And I was like, you know what? Why don't you just go look what's in there? If it is dad or just somebody or something trying to, maybe they're trying to give you a message. Maybe there's something in there. She's like, okay. She gathers up the courage. She gets a ladder. She goes up there. And it's just like old random stuff. And then the last thing in the very back corner she pulls out are these old t-shirts that were made when I was a kid. It had my face on it.
Stop.
As a kid. It had my face on it. And around my face it said, I love you.
Oh.
Chloe.
Stop.
I'm not fucking with you.
I'm gonna cry.
And then it stopped opening.
Oh
It stopped.
my God.
It won't open anymore. But here's the thing. It doesn't open on its own anymore. However, a few months ago when I was having like a super, super hard night, like I was right on the edge. I really was feeling very lost and not sure what to do. I was having a little crisis and it opened up that night.
Stop.
That's the only time it ever did. There's no reason for it to do that.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that
That's so
message, I love you,
lovely.
Chloe, with my
That's
fucking
so
picture on it.
lovely.
Yeah.
Oh.
So haunted as shit. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. I know that you're more of a skeptic, but you see, when it comes to stories like this, I'm more of a believer because maybe I just want to believe, when it comes to this kind of stuff.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, as a fellow member of the Dead Dad Club, I would kill for like a ghostly message. You know what I mean? Like, I'm open to being. I don't want to say I'm open to being haunted. Like, ghosts, please don't hear that message wrong.
No, don't say that.
Like,
get your crystals, get your sage.
It's not that like I want to explain everything away. It's just that I haven't had the kind of experience that you've had that would kind of shock my system in that kind of profound way. You know what I mean?
Right. And I just wonder, why do some people experience it and some don't?
What the fuck?
What's
that about?
I don't know.
Why not me?
I don't know. Exactly. That's part of the mystery. I'm not really sure what it is. Anyway, that's for another episode, though. Conversation for another day. But these are the best hauntings I could really come up with for Joshua Tree. And speaking of hauntings, there are actually rumors of witchcraft in the area.
Fuck yeah, dude. Rock and roll. Rock
okay,
and roll,
well, you
brother.
like that? Okay. Oh no. That's why I said I don't think we were recording earlier, guys, but I was like, you know how witches do rituals?
Oh my God.
We could just call them witchuals. And Julianne just thought she thought it was hilarious.
I did.
But there are rumors that people go out into the desert in this area and perform rituals in the dead of night.
Hell yeah.
I'm not even fucking kidding. And this place,
what better place? What better fucking place than the goddamn desert? Forget about it.
Yeah, I know. Fucking for real. Like, it's very similarly to Sedona. There are said to be vortexes out here in this desert.
We love a vortex.
In Joshua Tree in particular. Yeah, everyone loves a good vortex. And this place is considered to be a very highly spiritual place. Like, the energy is different here, or at least a lot of people see it that way. And honestly, like, with Native Americans inhabiting this place first, and all the very cruel shit that they had to go through, I personally automatically think haunted as fuck, because the bad jujus are there. I'm not saying that the vortexes are a bad juju, but you know, I think that's
an emotionally
kind
rife
of along the lines.
Area.
Yeah, I think that could be part of why people think it's such an interesting area. There's a lot of different energies and vortexes going on. So I couldn't find a lot about like what kind of rituals or all of that, but honestly, I didn't really want to.
Dude, it's fucking secret.
Because it's secret and it's really creepy, and I just rather not. But it's interesting because that's part of the landscape here. That's part of the culture here that most people don't know about or talk about, I think, because it's like, I'm not fucking with that. But another really incredible thing that Joshua Tree is known for, or all deserts really, are UFOs, being UFO hotspots, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And Southern California not being too far away from Area 51, right? All of it is very, very near each other. Of course, you're going to have some UFO enthusiasts, and Graham Parsons just so happened to be one of them.
Really?
Right? Remember that?
Right.
That's what I said
you did
earlier.
Sit with the acid. Yeah.
Yeah, but he specifically liked Joshua Tree because of the UFO stuff that he was seeing.
All right, Graham.
Right? I'm just saying. Okay, so it's just a little sprinkle to the cupcake.
High
okay,
strangeness, baby.
So it's interesting because I thought that, you know, this episode was gonna be mostly about UFOs and extraterrestrials and anything along those lines, but I really couldn't find too much about it online. Any specifics, any actual evidence, and maybe I just was looking in the wrong places, but this random filmmaker, Jeremy Corbell, once said of Joshua Tree that it is the Woodstock of UFOs. It's so ancient out here. It's like a fourth dimension.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, Jeremy.
I mean, I'll comment on my desert thoughts later. Go on.
And so I get the hunch that a lot of these, if there are any sightings, they're from locals or, you know, just people passing through, and they're not necessarily posting them all over the internet. Yeah. It's probably firsthand experiences, and I would actually have to be in the area to interview people. So maybe that can be for another day. But one group of people it does attract are those of the CE5 movement. Do you know what CE5 is?
I don't.
You know who Dr. Stephen Greer is, right? I think we talked about him once.
Guy?
Yeah. So CE5 stands for Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Okay. Close
Encounters of the Fifth Kind means, like, according to Wikipedia, direct communication between humans and extraterrestrials.
Okay. So my dream, aka my desire, my grandest desire to interact one-on-one.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So it's actually talking to them, making contact, right? So this movement started by Dr. Stephen Greer. I believe he worked for the government. This is a whole other episode, but I just wanted to touch on this because what these people, a part of Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, want to do is make contact. And so I don't know the exact instructions or details, but I do know that they try to put together sighting groups.
Oh, hell yeah. We love a fucking proactive organization. They're not just fucking waiting around. They're going to make it happen. Go on.
Yeah. And so you bring your supplies. So I'm going to share this with you so you can see the event invite that we missed.
Oh, no.
We missed out on.
Oh, man.
I know. It's come and gone. Gosh. You could probably meet some people in your area. It's all over the place.
Okay.
Like, hi, researchers.
Oh, my God. Ufologists unite. Okay. There's protocol.
What to bring?
Capitalized.
A folding chair. Yeah, bring a folding chair, bring a blanket because it gets kind of cold, bring a flashlight, foods and drinks. And I like that it says no alcohol or drugs. So it's not like this big...
A sober
This
search.
is a sober event.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. And so what they do, like
I love that.
It's kind of like you meditate, and it's kind of... Telepathy is a very strong word, I think, but it's about becoming still and kind of reaching out to these celestial beings with your mind. Or that's the idea. Apparently, there have been a lot of sightings and reports that during these events, they actually summon UFOs.
What?
And they come. They don't just appear in the sky; they come down.
Okay.
But they keep their distance. I'm not saying that's right. I'm telling you what I've read.
Okay. Interesting.
Right? So anyway, CE5, I will do a whole episode on that another time.
Thank you. I want to know the protocol.
Yeah, this area.
I want to join in.
I know. Girl, download the app if you want to do your own at your own house. For real, there's an app.
Okay.
Where is it? Here, I'll show you. I'm just marketing a bunch of stuff to you today.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a whole
CE5 Contact.
Okay.
It's an app. And you see in the app, it will give you instructions.
What?
It'll literally give you instructions on how to do it at your own house.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do that this week and I'll get back to you.
In episode 6, find out what happens to Julianne.
I'm definitely making contact for sure.
And of course, some of you are probably waiting for me to bring this up, but of course we cannot talk about UFOs and Joshua Tree without bringing up Demi Lovato. You're laughing.
Of course I'm laughing.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
You go on. You go on.
Demi Lovato. I don't know if you guys know this, but Demi Lovato has a series called Unidentified on Discovery Plus. Or is it Peacock? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And in one of the episodes, she goes to Joshua Tree and she talks about her experience of encountering a blue lit UFO that came and hovered kind of far away from her, but not too far. And she said it felt like it was just hanging out with her or like just checking her out. And then it booped away or whatever. And so that was one of the experiences that, she has a lot of really interesting stories about UFOs that are, or extraterrestrials that are quite out there. She doesn't believe that extraterrestrials should be called aliens. She said that those are derogatory words. Okay. But anyway, to put it kindly, I think this show is more explorative and experimental than like hard cut scientific deduction or legitimacy. But if you guys wanted to go watch it, you could. It was really hard for me to get through. I really tried for this episode. It was just kind of hard for me to get through. Demi
stresses me out.
I just wanted to mention.
She causes me stress.
I wish her well.
I wish her all the best.
I want her to be okay. I think I admire her for her curiosity and her willingness to just be completely transparent. Just go there. That's interesting. Yeah, she goes there. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to bring that up for anyone who's like, excuse me, where's Demi Lovato's mention? But yeah, she kind of gave more interviews in that episode in the area. So go check it out if you want to. And we've come to the last haunted part of this episode. Cryptids.
Yes, dude. High strangeness. Cryptids. You gotta check out my patch. Hold on. Look, 1 second.
You
Look
have a
at
patch? Protect cryptid wildlife. Oh my God, you're going to love this part. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll get ready. I saved the best for last.
Thank you. Okay.
Again, when I started the research for this episode, I did not think that cryptids, I thought cryptids were going to be like run of the mill, like, okay, I'm just going to mention this. There's not going to be a lot of information on this. There was so much information.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about the Yucca Man first.
Oh, okay. Haven't heard of him.
Joshua Tree's very own. Well, let me describe it to you. You can come up with it yourself. Okay. Are you ready? Back in 1970, a Marine, right?
The Marine base nearby.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Back in 1970, a Marine was said to be stationed at his post guarding something. I don't know what the hell he was guarding, but he was guarding something late at night by himself. And then out of the darkness, in front of him comes this tall, dark creature. It looked like a shadow from afar, but when it came closer, the guard was just terrified because it was like this 10 to 12 foot. And of course, it was probably a little shorter than that because when we're scared, we tend to see things a little bigger than they are, right? But he claims it was like 10 to 12 foot. Or I don't know if it was he who claimed the height of this, because there was a very tall creature that had like long tan hair drooping down its body. Like it was very shaggy. And so and he said that this creature had like long hanging arms and it was upright.
Is it
right?
Bigfoot?
Bipedal. I don't know. You tell me. The creature approaches the man, takes the rifle out of his hand, and to the Marine's horror, bends it in half and knocks the man out with it.
What?
Or knocks the man out with something. He gets knocked out.
Okay.
And so a few hours later, some other Marines find him passed out. They take care of him, and then they ask him when he wakes up, like, yo, what happened? What happened to you? Do you remember who was it? He proceeds to tell them what he saw. And he swears to God that he saw it. And apparently there was a picture that was taken.
Was the gun left behind or taken away?
It was probably taken away. I don't think that there's any evidence. But here's a picture.
Oh, fuck no. Fuck that fucking...
Fuck no, right?
No, Bigfoot bullshit. Get the fuck off of my screen.
Right? Okay. We have a fucking patch of Bigfoot, okay? Okay. So, it gets better. Both the CIA and the FBI agencies were brought into the area to investigate other reports throughout the 70s, stating that multiple groups of people have seen very, very similar creature. Some reports state that there was a smaller figure by its side.
Like how like Totoro has like its little buddy Totoros.
Yeah. Exactly. And one report even mentioned that this creature or this being stood in front of their car down a road and just refused to move.
Oh no.
And then it just kind of wandered off at some point, but they were terrified. So the fucking CIA and FBI came to report it.
What the fuck?
I mean, came to investigate.
Okay.
Okay. So this was taken kind of seriously.
Yeah.
Now, if we were theoretically, right? To me, when I hear about possibly Joshua Tree's own version of Bigfoot roaming around, for some reason, I'm a little skeptical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I think, it's you have to be a certain type of creature to live out in the scorching desert. It's pretty hard to survive. I know that Homo sapiens are pretty fucking useless in the wild now. Or for the most part, we don't really have natural defenses as other creatures, species do. But, if there were this Yucca Man walking around, where does he live? I would think caves. Yeah. Right? And then I would think, where is he or she or whatever getting water source? There is an oasis of Mara, which is in Joshua Tree. But there are also other tiny ponds and lakes. So I can see that being a thing. And sometimes it rains. So I'm sure there's also mines in the area, right? So I'm sure that there might be some type of tunnel system, maybe collecting water. They probably have a source. And then what are they eating? Well, as you know, there's a lot of wildlife in the area.
True.
There's also fruit growing off of these fucking succulents. So to me, I don't know. At first I was a little skeptical, but now I'm like, maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
I guess I don't see what's different from this description to like typical Bigfoot descriptions. Like, what makes this guy his own man? Why is he his own man and Big Feet are just a clump of bipedal cryptids? You know what I mean?
I don't know. This one is a little different because his hair is longer and more shaggy.
Do we know that for a fact? Do we have anything to fucking compare it to?
Just the stories, just like any other Bigfoot story.
This guy is aggressive.
Right? But they're all reporting.
I feel like Bigfoot's not aggressive. Bigfoot is just chilling.
I don't think
Bigfoot's just
so.
living his life.
I think he's just like, oh, sorry. And he just kind of gets intimidated sometimes. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. So
interesting.
I didn't know that the desert had its own Bigfoot version, but there it is. And now the last thing we're going to touch on here. Have you ever heard of a skinwalker?
I sure have.
Do you know what a skinwalker is?
Barely.
Julian?
Please teach me.
Okay, friends. Skinwalkers are said to have originated from the Navajo tribe. Skinwalkers were said to be once a witch or some type of healing practitioner. Like they're supposed to go down the road of being a healer,
the Jedi,
and a medicine man or woman. Sure, you're right. Like going down the path of light, right? But this person instead decides to go down a path of darkness. And in order to become a skinwalker, they literally have to make a deal with the devil per se, right? And so to make a deal with the devil, you have to do something extremely heinous, like kill your entire family, and not just with poison or with like something simple. Like you have to do it in a very gruesome way, or like you just have to commit something so gruesome to prove that you're wicked, right? And that, which really scares me already. Human beings are fucking scary anyway. But it's said that these really wicked, evil natured people somehow are granted this ability to shapeshift, right? Into, it kind of looks like a human mixed with an animal. And so skinwalkers are shown, and sometimes they just show up as animals, but apparently you'll know when they're weird or you'll know that they're probably a skinwalker because they'll appear off. Like they don't behave. Like if you saw a coyote, they show up as coyotes a lot, or wolves or whatever. Like you'll just kind of know, like the way that they stand or the way that they kind of look. The perfect way I heard it explained was like, it seems like, and I think I heard this from another podcast. I can't remember where I heard this. I'm so sorry. But it's like as if there were like a human in an animal's body, not knowing how to be that animal.
Oh, I hate it.
Right? And so you can tell there's something off. Yeah. There's something about that that's so freaky.
Oh, makes me uncomfortable.
And so these beings are supposedly very magical. Sounds too happy. But they're able to either transform into, possess, or mimic an animal or even a human being. It's like someone you know, and they can mimic human voices, including your own, and talk to you, and that's how they lure you.
No.
So there's like some stories of like people walking down paths and feeling like they're being stalked by skinwalkers, and they'll hear their own voices taunting them from the back. or they'll hear like their mother's voice in the middle of the woods. No, I'm getting the chills. Yeah, I know they're really, really scary.
Oh my God.
And apparently they're super dangerous because they can rip you limb from limb, like literally rip you apart.
Horrible. Awful.
Yeah. And so they also say like the more that you talk about skinwalkers, the more you're going to manifest one. Like they know, they can sense it, and they come after you. And so even though skinwalkers originated from Navajo, right? They most Native American groups do not fucking dare speak that name or even bring it up. Like, do not. And so this is something that is very strongly believed to be real, because a lot of Native Americans have claimed to either see this thing or know someone who is one. It's really, really, it's actually really creepy. And I don't want to research it too much after this because it just creeps me out. But anyway, some campers in the Joshua Tree area have reported believing that they were being stalked by skinwalkers through these parts and encountering these creatures. And usually if you encounter a skinwalker, not everyone survives, right? You mostly don't. And again, I think a lot of this is like word of mouth, like not word of mouth, but like firsthand experiences, because no one's talking about it. No one wants to talk about these things, but apparently they are kind of running rampant in the area.
Yeah, it seems like it's very like hush hush.
Yeah. And so there is a very interesting Reddit post I found.
Yes.
It was called
We love Reddit.
At first, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was, it's on the No Sleep Reddit page. It's not a page, is it?
Subreddit.
It's a thread or something. I don't know. I'm new to Reddit. I'm so sorry. But it's called There's Something Hunting U.S. Marines in the Desert of California.
That sounds familiar.
Right?
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. Oh, it's called 29 Palms Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Training Center. There you go.
Perfect.
I didn't know the name earlier. Anyway, I thought that this was fictional writing when I was reading this. So there are reports from this story that this guy that he's very scared to share the story, and that he's like switching, I don't know how it goes, I'm so sorry, switching routers or something, or bouncing back and forth or something, trying to not get caught telling this story. But he felt like people need to know. And I thought, okay, I'm listening. So he says that he's out on duty one night, like outside guarding or just on duty. I don't know what the hell Marines do. I'm sorry. Anyway, him and his buddy start, like, they just see some action going on in like the near distance, and they're like, what is that? And so they put on their night vision goggles, and they see like these weird, strange creatures that have longer limbs and look very strong. Like he said, specifically the arms and the legs were very bulky and strong looking, but it was like lanky at the same time, and that he couldn't really locate a nose, but that there were a lot of like sharp teeth, and it started like fucking running towards other guards. God. And it got one of them and killed him, and so they were trying to shoot at this thing. He named his very fancy rifle or whatever, and the bullets just didn't do anything. Okay, and at this point, I'm like, okay, this is fiction, right?
This is creepypasta.
But I was looking in the comments, and there were so many people claiming to be stationed there, or about to be, or who have been stationed at that Marine base, which is very close to where my family lives.
Hell.
And they said, yeah, bro, I saw those things too. I'm not even fucking lying. And other people were like, yes, I was. And they were talking very like specifically, like it seemed like only things who were actually stationed there would understand. And they were like having conversations like, oh yeah, I used to be in that building too, and blah, 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 blah. But all these people were just coming in the comments just being like, I saw it too. I don't know what they're having us tackle out there or what we're even dealing with, but bro, it's dangerous. And some other people said, I was stationed there too. I'm currently stationed there. Like I haven't seen anything like that, but the vibes here are really wrong. Like there's just something really wrong here.
Oh, it's very unnerving.
Right. And so because there's like report, and I can't remember some of the details here, but other people in the comments were commenting like, it kind of sounds like you're dealing with a skinwalker. It fits the description really well. So interesting. It's just a little something to think about, something to chew on.
I hate to chew on that.
Yeah, but can you imagine if there was like a Stranger Things conspiracy? Like there's just out there battling these fucking crazy creatures that live in the hills and come out every night or every once in a while and hunt. I mean, the people in the comments said that they felt like they were being hunted when they were there.
That's horrific.
It's horrific, right?
Who knows? Who knows the truth? Like, does it go all the way to the top? Who the fuck knows what's going on?
And it's government, and government fucking hides everything. So honestly, I have no fucking clue. It sounds like fiction, but honestly, just the sheer amount of people in the comments
very interesting.
Corroborating that experience was just really strange to me. So I wanted to share that with you because I had no idea that existed.
Jesus.
And there might be something very strange going on in 29 Palms.
Well, you're going to have to go back and check it out.
I don't know.
Obviously, you have to go back.
Well, now that I know that my grandparents' house is haunted as fuck.
I've heard of a really cute little inn.
I don't know.
Nearby in Joshua Tree. You can stay there instead.
Oh, Joshua Tree Inn?
Mm-hmm. You've heard of it? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
heard of it. You can stay in room 1, room 8,
fine.
room 12, any room. Just pick one.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I heard room 8 is great.
Oh, yeah.
The views are great there. Yeah. God.
I mean, it's so interesting. Like the whole skinwalker thing, as we talked about in our last episode, like it makes sense. If you're just looking at it from a folklore perspective, it makes sense that there would be these stories as warnings or whatever, being like when people do horrific, wicked things, they become something else. It makes sense either as a warning or as like a perceived experience. It makes sense both ways, right? And I mean, it's not even, it's not that far outside of what the commonly accepted perception is of what's happening. Like when somebody does something like that, they do turn into something else that we cannot recognize anymore. So it's not that far off base. And so it's like, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it does happen like that. Who am I to say?
Yeah, I don't know. Of course, right off the bat, it's fun to believe in. But if you really think about, okay, is there like physically, how does that work? Like, right? I think it's the type of thing that is not meant to be thought of that critically. Yeah. Even though I know that sounds, someone probably just heard me say that and go, come on. But, I don't know. Like, I really do believe in myth and like cautionary tales. I think we talked about that in the past few episodes. We mentioned that a lot. But for some reason, skinwalkers seem they seem a little different than the other cautionary tales I've heard. Because people are really convinced that it's real. Like, because they've seen it and interacted with it and had experiences with it. And so I'm not going to claim to know anything.
No, certainly. Me neither.
Like the world might be filled with all kinds of stuff we can't explain. And, if it's real to someone else, I'm not going to argue too much with that. There's just something about the stories that just seem a little, maybe it's just my intuition. I feel like there is something to it. It might not be all completely what it seems, but I do think there is something with body to it. I mean,
there's also, there's just something about the desert in general, dude. Like I've been out there only by myself really. And, driving across large swaths of desert. And I mean, there's so many stories of high strangeness in desert areas that I hope to get into at some point as well. And like, when I was out there, I was just like, this makes so much fucking sense to me. You are like, there is nothing, dude. Like, you are out there and there is nothing for fucking miles.
Silent.
It is quiet.
Yep.
And it's just like, even aside from skinwalkers talking more broadly about, UFOs, people having weird time experiences, which also can be tied to like UFO experiences, other cryptid kind of stuff, all that kind of stuff. It's just like, yeah, like you're confronting the void in the desert. You're confronting stark nothingness, and like there's so much space for weirdness, whether it's from the brain or somewhere else. I don't fucking know, but like there's so much space for like weird shit to start playing around in your mind. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's a very otherworldly experience to actually be out there in the nothingness. And like, it makes a lot of sense that strange things would come about one way or another, be it in your mind or otherwise.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that coin, speaking about strangeness, I just put up my little galaxy
Beautiful.
photo of Joshua
Stunning.
shrubs. But also, on the flip side of what you just said, there, one could argue that there's tons of space for things to go unnoticed.
Of course.
Right? Or unfound, undiscovered for a long time. But if you live out there in the nothingness and you're around long enough, one of those days you might just catch a glimpse of something that you can't explain. And, it might be easier and more comforting to say, you know what, I think that was just my mind, or, maybe I just like thought that tree was like the yucca man or whatever. But, it's also a possibility that what you saw was exactly what you saw, that there was really something there. I'm just saying, there's not enough evidence on the other side of that coin to convince me that it absolutely can't happen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But there's also not enough evidence on the other side of that coin to tell me that it did happen. There's not enough
evidence, period, of anything.
That's why we talk about this stuff, right? Because we're trying to figure it out, and we're trying to present the evidence, or the evidence, but all the clues, all the breadcrumbs we have so far. And I'm sure there's so much out there that we just can't access because we just don't know the right person to talk to.
It's the tip of the fucking iceberg. It goes all the way to the top.
It really is. So, but one thing I do want to say before we conclude this episode is, if we inspired you in any way, or if you are already inspired and wanted to travel to this location, and a very real scary thing is that a lot of people go missing in the area, especially in Joshua Tree National Park. Dude. It's very easy to get lost or get overheated,
that's real.
Dehydrated.
People do not fucking prepare. They start in the morning. They are not fucking prepared for what happens by midday. Like, it's not safe a lot of the time.
No, it's not. So please, all I ask is that before you go anywhere out into the wilderness, if you're there, please make sure that you bring someone with you, or at least a few people with you, and that you guys stay on the paths. Yeah. Don't go off the trail.
Don't be like me. Don't go by yourself.
Yeah, don't get too crazy. This is not the kind of place you want to go exploring too much. I mean, you do, but not off the
uneducated, off the fucking grid.
Right. And even for the people who are educated, even they sometimes get lost and don't come back. So please be careful. Make sure that you bring lots of food and water, and also think about the time of year that you're going, and check your weather app to make sure that, like, maybe at 9 a.m. it's, temperate, but then at 3 p.m. it's going to get fucking hot in the place you're heading to. So
and it gets cold at night too, dudes. Like, be safe.
It gets very cold at night. Yeah, I just want you guys to think rationally, prepare ahead of time, and even if it's kind of like it doesn't feel cool to, go with a buddy or whatever, just do it, because it's also not cool to die.
True.
And get lost.
Only losers die.
Oh my God, Julie. No. Yeah, I mean, if that helps you guys.
No, but seriously, thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Chloe, for this comment. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just drop the cool facts and then leave it at that. So I think it's very conscientious of you to leave this little safety warning. I didn't know she was going to do this, so I'm genuinely impressed with Chloe right now.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, I truly just don't want any of you to get hurt. And it's really easy to think like, oh, I'll just, go out here. We'll have a good time. I just want you to be prepared because a lot of people make the same mistake. So just careful, okay?
We love you.
Okay.
Wow.
I guess at the end of the day, there's just so much about this area that is beautiful and mysterious. A lot of people definitely believe that this place is energetically charged, spiritual, a prime place to explore the vast unknown. My family, my grandparents moved out here to get away from people. They wanted privacy, solitude, isolation. Some people feel lonely in the desert. They want to get out. And some people are just tumbleweeds passing through. So absolutely, yes, I reiterate, definitely check out this area. I think it's, besides all the weirdness, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful place, but also just careful, okay? And I think that's it.
Amazing.
Unless, Julianne, you have any other comments?
No, dude, thanks for taking us on this little tour of such a spooky area. That was amazing. And please remember that we would love to hear your stories, be they in the desert, be they in the tundra, wherever they are. We want to know what spooky things are happening with you and your family. Tell us.
Yeah.
Email us at imscaredbutilikeit@gmail.com if you're willing to share your story. And potentially have it read out on the show. We want to have an episode of all listener stories, ideally. It can be anonymous. Let us know what your pronouns are. Whatever information you want us to share, we'll share it. We appreciate you. You can also, of course, communicate with us on social media. You can find us on Instagram and on Facebook as I'm Scared But I Like It. On Instagram, however, you will have to search ISBILI Pod. That's ISBILI POD. That's our Instagram handle. We would love to hear from you. We would love to build up more of a community over there on the social media. So give us a follow if you want to keep up with what's going on our end. You can find information about Joshua Tree, etc. in the show notes. Chloe will link to stuff, I'm sure.
Hell yeah, I will.
Hell yeah, she will.
Credits due where credits due.
And that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you're scared, and we hope that you liked it. Yeah? What are you looking at?
That was weird. I just saw a shadow of a person walk by outside my window.
Stop.
It might have just been my neighbor, but it was just
your
really
fucking
weird.
Neighbor, dude. Don't do this to me right now.
It was my neighbor. It was my neighbor.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye to the people.
Okay, guys. Love you.
Love you. Bye. See you next time.